Good evening. Thank you for being here tonight. My name's Corinne. I'm the Fine Arts Specialist for the Evergreen School District, and I'm really excited to be here to witness what's going to happen tonight, and just to be here to welcome you to this great event. We have 4 of these throughout the district, and this is the 4th one, actually. It's our last one, so maybe we saved the best for last. I don't know. We'll see. But a couple things that are really fun that you get to see tonight is you get to see 3 different levels of choir, which is really, really fun to watch the progression from elementary to middle school and then to the high school. You get to see all the different levels. Raise your hand if anybody in here was in choir. Oh, a lot of choir people in here. Nice, hands down. So I'm sure you understand the excitement up here. You know, they're a little louder than they were this morning, and they're just really excited to sing for you. So I'm not going to talk for too long. We do have a special guest. We have someone from our school board here to talk to you. So I'd like to welcome Rob Perkins to say a few words.
Wow, thank you. Well, I'm really excited to be here. I come from a family, I'm actually a graduate of Mountain View High School, so my family in this school district and these schools go back all the way to the late 70s, and that makes me feel kind of old sometimes. But I'm really excited to be here because this has been going on in the school district for 10, 20 longer years, a long time. And my kids, when they were in elementary school, they had the opportunity to sing in this group when it was just 2 shows. Instead of 4, the north side, south side. This is a great way to see how much interest there is in music and the performing arts, and how beautiful it is to me and to everybody like me to see kids learning to sing and to work together like this. I was a music kid at Marion, Y East, Mountain View. I played in the band, sang in the choir. It was the thing that kept me in school. And we know that having music and studying music is really integral and really important and helps kids to learn all the subjects that they have to learn in the schools. What you're going to see tonight is incredible to me. Each year that they do this, these kids took, 2 hours today to rehearse together after working in their elementary schools. And I'm just really looking forward to this performance. The school board and the superintendent asked me to come and express our gratitude for your support for these music programs. Not everybody knows that music programs are not funded by the state of Washington. They're funded by our local taxes. So when you see on your ballot a choice for a levy to operate the schools, as you'll probably see coming up this February, those are the dollars that help to make these programs possible. I think a fourth of all the kids that are enrolled in the district participate in music one way or the other. And when you consider that band and performance choirs and orchestra doesn't start until the 5th grade, that makes for a lot of secondary students in music. We recognize that as important and as a great community value, and thank you for your support for this great thing. Have a good performance, kids.
Thank you. Before we start, I'd like to recognize any classroom teachers and principals that are here to watch our performance. So could you please stand and be recognized? I'm going to recognize Dennis, too. Thank you for being here. And also, let's give a big shout out to Dennis Minks back here running sound. In the inside of your program, please notice there are a couple of concert etiquette tips listed there. I know that we're not in an auditorium, we're not in a typical performance space, but it's just because there's too many of us. We don't fit in an auditorium, which is a great problem to have. So please help us make this the most musical space that it can be for our performance tonight by keeping your cell phones off and staying seated during songs. If you need to leave or come in, please do that between songs. So thanks for checking those tips out. At this time, I'm going to recognize our teachers that are performing tonight with their students. So first, Mr. Michael Iverson. Thank you, Mr. Iverson, for hosting us here at Union. And at our 2 middle schools, we have Miss Deb Weldon from Chehalis. And Miss Sherry Halls from Frontier. From our elementaries, we have Jennifer Velasquez from BBC. Bryn Scamahorn from Harmony. And now it's a competition. We have Jordan Erickson from Pioneer. And last, I'd like to welcome Tracy Hurst up. He's going to direct our first.
Everyone's tall and I'm not. Oh, the joys of being shorter. Just a moment. All right. Thank you, and I want to welcome you on behalf of the teachers as well for being here this evening. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking. We're going to move straight into our first middle school of the evening. Our first middle school is Frontier School Concert Choir under the direction of Sherry Halls with her accompanist, Roxanne Hill.
Freedom is coming, oh
we are going to do a quick middle school choir changeover. And while we're doing that, you get to listen to me. It's the most exciting part of my day. I like talking. I was a talker in class. My report cards were always, talks too much, all the time. I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you as parents for supporting your students. For, in my school, the early morning rehearsals, getting there when it's cold out, waiting with your students before the door opens at 8:05. For some of you, it's coming after school and staying a little bit later. For our high school and middle school students, those extra practices, those extra rehearsals, the sacrifices that you make as parents, that is so important to our students and so important to their development in their musical endeavors. So parents, we want to thank you very much. And students, could you please just give us a quick round of applause for those parents? Is that moving? I guess not. All right, we're on. All right, so this next song is going to be conducted by two of us. This is the elementary's rendition of We Share This World, directed by Mr. Erickson and myself.
What do you see when you look right at me? Am I that different from you? We share this world, finding peace is the key. Differences we can work through. Everyone in this world shares the same point of view. Try to imagine what life's like for me. I'll do the same for you, and then we'll see. We share this tiny world. Try to imagine a world filled with peace. It's something I like to do. Everyone in this world shares the same point of view. Try to imagine what life's like for me. I'll do the same for you, and then we'll see. We share this tiny
This is one of my favorite events. I was an instrumentalist. I played piano from the time I was 3 years old. When it came time for me in 5th grade to decide what I wanted to do, I chose the trumpet. And that's what I did. I always loved singing, but I was never personally in choir until I was in college. But I loved to sing. And the thing that is so great about this festival to me is singing is the only instrument you carry with you. And I want to thank you for being here and taking part in what I have grown to believe is the absolute purest expression of music we have, and that is singing. Babies start singing from the time they're little with their little sounds. Everyone can participate. It never gets old, and it makes us happy. I was telling my students the other day, there is scientific research that shows when you sing, your body produces dopamine. Dopamine makes us happy. So this, to me, is one of the best events because we get to share in that joy. We are getting ready for Chehalis Middle School under the direction of Deb Weldon. Her accompanist is Debbie Lee, and they will be doing 2 songs for you this evening.
Hello. Great. I'm Miss Weldon, and I teach at Chehalis Middle School, and I spent 14 years over at Harmony Elementary School, so we're all just getting a little older. Look at her. She's like, I thought I knew you. So this is Chehalis Middle School 8th grade choir. We're going to open with a piece entitled Through the Eyes of the Moon. And so the text is basically speaking as the moon as the character, and we've had some gorgeous ones of late. So Through the Eyes of the Moon. And then from a completely different flavor, this is entitled, I Can Feel the Rhythm, which they usually really can with their face and whole voice and body when we're in our room by ourselves. And then they turn into some other different people when they get here, but not tonight. Tonight, I can feel the rhythm.
I can feel the rhythm, I can feel the rhythm, I can feel the rhythm in me. Oh well, now I can feel the rhythm, I can feel the rhythm, I can feel the rhythm in my hands and my feet. Oh well, now I can feel the rhythm, I can feel the rhythm, the rhythm that beats. Oh well, now I can feel the rhythm, I can feel the rhythm, yes, I can feel the rhythm in my hands and my feet. Feel the rhythm, feel the beat, feel the rhythm in my hands and my feet. Feel the rhythm, feel the beat, oh yes, I can feel the rhythm in my hands and my feet. Rhythm, feel the rhythm, add some harmony, syncopation makes it all complete. I can feel the rhythm, I can feel the rhythm in my hands and my feet. Feel the rhythm, feel the beat, feel the rhythm in my hands and my feet. Feel the rhythm, feel the beat, oh yes, I can feel the rhythm in my hands and my feet. Music has a way of making me move. I want to step along when I hear that groove. It's a feeling that is hard to control. Oh well, no, I can feel the rhythm down in my soul. Feel the rhythm and I feel the beat. Feel the rhythm in my hands and my feet. Feel the rhythm and I feel the beat. Oh yes, I can feel the rhythm in my hands and my feet. I can feel the rhythm, rhythm and beat.
Special thanks to Sadie Lyman, who played drums for us today. Thank you.
Continuing on with what was spoken by me, or I guess, earlier about how singing is, in my mind, the true purest form of musical expression. I want to talk for a second about arts education. And Mrs. Ormson earlier had people raise their hand if they had been in choir. But being an instrumentalist by nature and then coming to choir later, I would like you to raise your hand if you were involved in any musical experience in your schooling when you were in elementary through high school. Music, thank you guys, good job. Music allows us to be bigger than us. When we are in a group, we are part of something. And that is not equal in anything else that we do. I talk to my students all the time about, in music, we don't sit the bench. In music, if you're struggling, we help each other rise. We don't have a timeout. We don't get to say, just a minute. We're here and we help each other, and that rising tide lifts all boats really happens in our music. And then when we get together, and later when you hear our high school group, and when you've heard our wonderful middle school groups, and what we're just starting in that elementary, it's so much richer and more full than any one voice singing alone. And we create this beautiful tapestry of sound. And it just gives me goosebumps, not only to hear them, but to think of what we are creating together. And so I really encourage you to really, really support those arts. Even if you have one student in choir and one in band or one in orchestra and you like one better than the other, I won't tell, it's okay. But that arts education is so important to our whole students' education and brain development. And soul. It's important to our soul and our being. So I'm going to invite up Ms. Velasquez for our last song. As I talk about soul and development, we're going to sing a fun song, which is always good. So this is Ms. Velasquez with 50 Nifty United States.
Nifty United States from 13 original colonies.
I only get to talk one more time. And what I want to talk about this time. Thank you. What I want to talk about this time is, again, to reiterate something that Mrs. Ormson said. You're seeing these kids 4th grade, soon to be through 12th grade. And what a cool progression. Some places get to do this with bands, some places get to, but we're just a large district, and that's near impossible. And the reason it works for choir is it's just us. But it is so cool to see that progression, and it's neat to see students, former students that I have in different places, and it's neat for them to connect here. And as you can tell, 50 Nifty is a popular song. I don't know if you snuck a peek at some of the high school and middle schoolers, but they were grooving on it too. And that's how music sticks with us. And so I am more than excited as they get ready to turn the microphone over to Mr. Michael Iverson and the Union High School Chamber Choir with their accompanist, Lori Collier.
Yes, it was quite interesting today when we had our dress rehearsal. And this group was standing over there, and they were all singing along with 50 Nifty United States. How many of you guys learned that song in elementary school? Put the hands up. There you go. How many of you guys participated in this event as grade school kids? Raise your hands. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where it starts. So moms and dads, please keep encouraging. They'll end up here, and I will thank you. So I'd like to begin by doing a piece, a setting of Psalm 150 by a South American composer, Hernani Aguirre.
Laudate eum virtutibus eius, laudate eum secundum multitudinem magnitudinis magnitudinis, la 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 Laudate eum secundum multitudinem magnitudinis magnitudinis, laudate eum in sono tume, laudate eum in stereo recitera, laudate eum in sanctae, laudate eum in laudate eum in tibulant chorum, laudate eum in choris erogeno, laudate eum in cimbalus venatibus, laudate eum in cimbalus, 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 Omni spiritus laudet Dominum, laudet spiritus laudet Dominum, laudate Dominum, laudate Dominum, laudate Dominum, laudate Dominum, Alleluia.
Our next selection is needs a little bit of explanation because it's kind of theatrical, and it calls for some sounds that aren't necessarily pretty in nature because it speaks of a tough subject. The song, written and inspired by Matthew Culleton, said, inspired by stories of Sudanese basket weavers, this song expresses the pain and the hope experienced by those in the devastating famine in the 1980s. In the midst of hardship, a wonderful new sense of creativity emerged when women began weaving baskets as a simple means of survival. This is called Famine Song.
because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. I sing, oh yes I sing, because I'm happy. I sing, oh yes I sing, because I'm free. For his eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. I sing, oh yes I sing, because I'm happy. I sing, oh yes I sing, because I'm free. For his eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. I'm so happy, yes. I'm so happy, yes I am. I'm so happy, yes. I'm so happy, yes I am. I'm so happy, yes. I'm so happy, yes I am. I'm so happy, yes. I'm so happy, yes I am. I'm so happy, yes. I'm so happy, yes I am. I'm so happy, yes. I'm so happy, yes I am. I'm so happy, yes. I'm so happy, yes I am. I'm so happy, yes. I'm so happy, yes I am. I'm so happy, yes. I'm so happy, yes I am. For his eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me.
This is Riley McKibben on the solo.
I am not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Oh, oh, another round of bullets hits my skin. Won't fire away, 'cause today I won't let the shame sink in. We are warriors, and that's what we become. Won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. Warrior, glorious. But the sharpest words wanna cut me down. Gonna send the flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. When I'm marching on to the beat I love. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. The sharpest words wanna cut me down. Gonna send a fly, gonna drown 'em out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come.